Chapter 6. 30 minutes later, the five of us, plus Rover, are standing across the street from Joe's. And my brain is just like, what the huh? I see ample evidence that this is not the Joe's Pizza we're used to. Ample evidence. Many-eyed monster. Winged monster. Oddly striking and dignified monster. Lazy monster. A bunch more monsters. Mr. Thrall, what exactly is this? Quint asks. This is where I live, he says, shifting and adjusting his weight on the hockey stick. Come. Will we be safe? Wait, are any of these monsters going to, eat us? You are my friends. All my friends are welcome. That sounds reasonable enough, but something stops me. 1 second, Mr. Thrall, I exclaim. Quick, buddy, huddle. I grab my friends and we all dash out of hearing distance. Should we go in there? I ask. Dirk and June both nod. I think so, June says. Why not? You know how old folks always tell you not to trust strangers. Great advice. You know what's better advice? Don't trust monster strangers. The dude's wearing bone jewelry. Quint opens his mouth to respond, but a strange sound interrupts us. It's like the sound of a blade slicing between us, silencing us. Do you guys hear that? It's like the wind rustling through the trees, but louder. The sound fills the air, like a flute or what's that lame plastic instrument from elementary school? A recorder! It sounds a bit like that. But the sound is deeper, rougher, and the longer I listen to it, the more it begins to sound like a strange, devilish musical scream. There's no other way to describe the sound. It is an inhuman shrieking. But there's no time to ponder the strange sound, because Thrall is limping toward Joe's. If we're going in, the time is now. Come on, June says. I listen to the noise a moment longer. The sound enters my ears and proceeds to march straight down my spine, twisting it, terrifying me to my core. It's only a noise, yet it scares me beyond belief. Jack, Quint barks. I shake my head, trying to shake out the fear, and I reluctantly follow my friends. From inside Joe's, I hear glass shatter and freakish, inhuman laughing. But I continue following. We all do. Rover trots beside me. As we step up onto the sidewalk, I tell him to stay, and he flashes those puppy dog eyes at me. Don't worry. We'll be back, buddy, I say. I think. Continuing forward, we pass the monsters hanging out outside. I try to give them good, solid, manly nods, but they just look at me like, buddy, you are in the wrong place. Thrall places his hand against the door and pushes it open, and we step inside. Inside to the strangest sight imaginable. Tentacles dance in the air. Furry beasts arm wrestle. Scaled things play some strange version of darts. At the counter, insect-like monsters suck down entire pizzas in a single bite. Small flying creatures swoop through the air, delivering food, and everywhere, at tables and booths, are hulking monsters, chatting it up in some sort of monster language. A few speak English. Bits and pieces of strange monster dialogue float over. Once pounded a Gerlach into the mud with just my tail. More snozzle snakes, chef. Tastes better when it's still breathing, if you ask me. A massively round monster behind the bar wings a full pie through the air, directly into the mouth of a heaving creature that is seemingly all mouth and nothing else. And then there's us. There's me, the 13-year-old human. The scared, confused, overconfident, but only overconfident in order to hide his crippling fear kid. My friends, Thrall bellows. Listen. The grumble of monster voices grows quiet. They turn in their chairs, some crane impossibly long necks. I can feel their eyes, some with thousands of little eyeballs like flies watching us. Thrall purses his lips. He sighs through his neck gills and then says, Royal, known in this world as Blarg. The monsters simply stare. Silence hangs in the air like a poorly timed gas. Finally, a small, zero-armed creature, perched on a chair, laughs and leans forward. This small human defeated a servant of Rezak, the ancient destructor of worlds. Ha! Not likely, the creature says, cackling. Hey, are they calling me a liar? I'm many things. I'm lazy. I'm clumsy. I'm a sucker for girls with British accents. I'm pretend charming, but not real charming. But I'm no liar. Well, that's not totally true either. I mean, I've lied plenty. Who hasn't? But I'm not lying about this. I cough into my fist, take a deep breath, and step forward. No, it's true, I did, for real. With this, I say as I pull the Louisville slicer from its sheath. The way the monsters react, you'd think I'd just pulled a severed donkey head from my back pocket. Some gasp like humans, others make sounds that I can only assume are monster versions of gasps. They begin to sniff the air, and then start to smile. It's like they can smell Blarg on the blade. Thrall looks at me with a grin that's all teeth. He rests one massive paw on my shoulder. I can't help but feel all warm inside. And then, to Jack, the human who felled the servant of the ancient destructor of worlds. And these are my friends, I say, shouting to be heard over the whir. I didn't do it alone. They helped, like a whole bunch. The crowd cheers, louder. June and Quint beam. Dirk gives me a slap in the back. And that is how we're welcomed into this strange new world of Joe's Pizza. Soon monsters are surrounding us, asking questions, telling stories, offering us food. A dozen monsters crowd around me as I recount the tale of how I battled Blarg. They keep pouring me flat Joe's soda, and I keep talking. First, I was like, "What's up, monster face?" Then I was all, "Back off, buddy." And then it was just, "Here's some Louisville slicer for ya." Later on, I spot Thrall off in a dim corner, sitting at a table. He's talking with another creature, this one thin, with spindly limbs and a rough, jagged beard. Thrall catches my eye and beckons me over. I pull Quint, Dirk, and June with me. "Please sit," Thrall says, then indicates the other monster. This is Bartle. Bartle smiles, an act that seems to take him great effort. His face scrunches up, revealing deep scars slashing this way and that. Bartle is aged, Thrall says. For many lifetimes he was a conjurer in our dimension. Dimension? Quint asks, leaning forward. Please sit. I will tell you what I know of how we came to be here.